have a fun fold for you today, and it is a fun fold. And I wanted to show you how to make it using the Sweet as a Peach products. And let me start by saying I think that we want to go ahead and stamp our greeting on the inside before we assemble it. I want to show you it's like an accordion fold, so it goes back and forth, but you're going to want to take note that one of the pieces is just a tad shorter, and that one is going to go against the front of your card. And this is just so that we can get a strip on a sheet of cardstock and not have to do 12 by 12 or something. I am going to move this down here closer to me just for a minute because you all don't want to see my roots. And that is the prettiest happy birthday stamp. I love that stamp. I'm going to move this to the side for a minute. And I just have a couple of sheets of basic white cardstock that I keep cut up in this size. And we are just going to do some stamping. I'm going to bring in our leaves. And I really should have my Stampin' Pierce mat over here, but this has a little bit of cushion and I quite honestly forgot to bring it over. I want to leave enough room because I'm going to die cut this. So I just am going to do it right here. And this is using Pear Pizzazz, by the way. That is really pretty. And we have a little double leaf image here as well. And you may decide totally to decorate your card differently. And that is one of the great things about this. It works with any papers. You can make all sorts of decisions on this to how you want to do it. I have the peach stamp, the largest peach stamp. And I'm going to start in the pale papaya. My friend and I stamped together the other day, and we decided this was the way that we liked our peaches colored. You may feel differently, but this is how we liked it. So you always want to go to your lighter color first. And we're going to, like I say, that's the pale papaya. And then we have a sponge dauber that I have labeled for Calypso Coral. And I'm just going to take that and I am just going to go along the bottom and just, you know, random, however you think you would like your peach colored. And I like that. And since we've had it out just a minute, we will huff on it with our breath before we stamp it. And isn't that cute? And if, say, you wanted to color that in a little bit more, if you didn't like that it had that little shading spot there and I'm not sure what was going on, just take that sponge dauber and do that. And it's all fixed. And no one is any the wiser that anything went awry there. I'm kind of actually glad that happened. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed a little foam. This is the mat that went in my Stamparatus. I feel that these images are going to do much better if I went ahead and got my pad. I think that's probably what happened with our large peach. So we're going to do the same process here with the pale papaya, and I'm going to look, these I believe are the tops of my peaches. I'm going to grab this Calypso Coral and color in my peaches around some of the edges, not all of them, but you can do yours however you like. That is one of the great things. I don't think any of them are grown the same, that they look the same anyway, so that is a-okay. And because we started in the light, we are safe to go in and out of that Calypso Coral. If it makes you feel better, rub your sponge dauber off on a piece of scrap paper. And these are distinctive stamps, and sometimes they're a little finicky. You just kind of have to go with it. You may have to see if your stamp pad works better drier or juicier. But if you don't like that you have some of that, sometimes they get a little pixelated look to them, you can just, again, just take your sponge dauber and fill in a little bit with them, and they'll be good. You just might want to rub your fingers on a pant leg or something, or use some hand sanitizer to get that ink off, just because we have been working with those sponge daubers, and you know, they're on our fingers, so sometimes that just happens. And so I have creased my piece with my bone folder, and we're just going to kind of work at these different elements. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do the front of our card first. And I'm using Calypso Coral. And all of the measurements will be on my blog. Now, when my friend and I made our card fronts, we both used this, and I like that. And I'll probably use that again today. But you can also use the reverse. And he works, and like I say, this works with any paper even. It's a fun fold. Okay, and let's see here. I want the paper going this way because we have our peach hanging down on this one. So you just, sometimes this designer series paper has a repeat, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to look at it and see what direction makes the most sense to you. Fun. Let's put this layer on top next. As I say, I'm still getting used to this tape burner, but there are things I really like. I think it sometimes lays flatter, so that's kind of one thing I like. There you go. But now I'm not going to use it on the reverse of my card here, assembling it, because I think that either you need to use the Seal Plus, or I'm going to use the liquid adhesive, because it's too much to ask of just a regular seal when we're going to have this right on here. And actually, I'm going to put my glue on my card base, or not on my card front, on my accordion fold piece. And I'm going to turn it over. This is just me, how I like to do it, so that I can, since that one piece is shorter, I want to be able to center it in this, on this piece of cardstock, on our card front. Because that is our card front side. It's just not a base, it's just one layer, but it's still the same size. And see there, you can already see it starting to take shape. And then again, I am going to put my glue on this piece. I just feel that I can visually make sure that I'm putting it in the right spot. That's just a me thing. You can turn yours however you would like. But I am just going to then bring these together. And yeah, I got a little bit of glue on my finger, moving it out of the way. But it's okay. I have a Kleenex here. I'm just going to rub that off. I just want to tap it along both sides just to make sure that it is straight while you still have that movement with that liquid glue. That's why I like the liquid glue. There are arguments for both. But isn't this a super cute fun fold? And then for this layer, we're just going to have this little piece that sneaks in here. And if you want, you can fold this over however you want to work on it. It's just cut a little bit short of the sides here, because if you made it the full length of this white piece, then it wouldn't open and close properly. And to save a little space, because this is going to have a purpose, I am just going to do 3 sides here, because I want to make this either a gift card holder or just a little goodie holder in here. But I do want it to come to the bottom of this white piece. And you could just stick a fingernail under there to kind of give yourself something to judge that up against. And it might just need to scooch in this way just a little bit. One thing nice, if you use the stripe paper, it does kind of, that just kind of finishes itself off as a stripe there. But isn't that fun? When that dries, you'll see that this will be a little place you could put a gift card in. Or I think, wouldn't it be the sweetest thing to print out your favorite peach recipe and trim it down and just put it in here? You could either die cut that, you could decorate it. If you didn't want to include a gift card or a recipe or anything like that, you could simply just cut this bigger, and this would just show off some more of that designer series paper. It would be wonderful. The other thing we have is a belly band, and it's not scored. And I want you to not make the same mistake that I did the first time I did mine. I put mine too tight. You are going to be better if it's a little bit on the looser side. So just kind of take note of where that is, but don't pull that really, really taut. Just kind of back it off, because we're going to have a label there anyway. And so it is going to hide that inner portion, so you won't see that. But it just makes it going on and off much easier. And I am, again, since we're asking this to be a strong place, we're not going to use seal. We're going to use the liquid adhesive. You could use Terran tape. You could use the Seal Plus if you feel that you have enough room there to deal with that. And I'm just gonna slide that, make sure no glue oozes down underneath there. We don't want to glue it to our card front. I love the sentiments. There are so many cute sentiments in this stamp. And I did hope your day is as sweet as a peach. And I then am going to be right back with our die cuts, and we can decorate our card. Okay, I'm back from the die cutting machine, and I have my silicone mat here because it's just going to make things cleaner. If you don't have one of these, I would suggest maybe putting down a little bit of wax paper, just because it's going to keep it from sticking to your surface and aggravating you then when it comes apart. My first card, I did not realize that that was the stem. And so mine is a little bit different. I might tack this down later, but we're just going to let that dry for now. And I am just going to put a little bit on this peach. If I was putting this on the outside of my card, I would definitely use some dimensionals to put these on, but just for, I'm going to put this leaf on the inside, so there's no need to do that. It just wouldn't shut as nicely. Then we have our third one. Just repeat that same process there. You may have to walk away and let yours dry for a little while. And that's okay too. And we can just kind of peel this up off here gently. I think since there isn't a whole lot holding that on, now that it's together, I'm going to take some Seal Plus and run over that. I just kind of needed to tack down a little bit. On our card, I just kind of want to see about centering that. I'll turn this way to lay that down a minute. I'm just going to put it in the center of this label. Again, we don't want to adhere this to our card front. We just want to do it onto this belly band. You can center yours however you like. You could, you know, do this corner with the belly band. And I probably got my belly band a little bit loose on this one. But it does make it much easier for your recipient if it's a little bit on the looser side versus on the tighter side. And then just figure out where you want to put your peach. And since we already have a little bit of that Seal Plus going on, I'm just going to come back in with that again. And that's how we're going to put this on our card. Just going to kind of have that hopping off there. You can decorate yours however you want. There is no right or wrong, but isn't that really cute? Okay, I've flipped my peach cluster over and it is still tacky. And I'm just going to do the same thing with that Seal Plus. I think that it's just is going to make it stronger. Just take note of where these holes are that you wouldn't want it showing through. And you can always just take a look through the front. If you see some of that shiny, then you'll know you just need to poke it over and fold it onto itself. So I feel that that is tacked together well. And we'll just go ahead and put some more of this adhesive down. Okay, and I'm just going to pick this up, move that out of the way. And I think that since I went ahead and stamped my happy birthday at the top, but I don't really want this further down, that I am going to bring it over here and have it coming kind of down this way. Because even if I do put something down inside there, it's not going to bother it. It's not going to get in the way. And I think that it's just really kind of, it takes some of the white away. So I think that's good. You could stamp something else and put it down here in the middle. There is no right or wrong. And so that is how today's card looked. I used a different tag on the front than my other one. Just kind of arranged it a little bit differently. And of course, like I say, the peach is all stamped differently, so they look a little bit different too. And then I had put my happy birthday at the bottom and my little cluster up there at the top. And then my friend let me bring her card home that she did. And she had a little bit different. Let me kind of slide these over the way. She had a different idea. She used the Pear Pizzazz on the outside for the belly band instead of the striped DSP. And she added some gems and did a different tag. And she wanted to shape hers a little bit. So she, once her images were dried and, you know, glued together and dried, then she turned them over and used a larger stylus end, and she just turned around circles and kind of just popped this out a little bit. And then she kind of did the same thing inside with her peaches, and she put another large one there. So you can just do anything that you want to decorate your card. And again, it doesn't have to be a gift card holder either. But this is the same card, 3 different kind of takes on it. And I just thought that was really a cute card. And like I say, you could sub in any stamp set, any shape, any tag, any punch, and it works. So I hope that you enjoyed this and are able to take it and make a card for someone that you love. As always, remember to be kind, send a card, and do something creative. Bye-bye.